The morning sun rose over Haven 7 like it always did. The sky turned orange and pink. Children ran to school. Workers walked to the factories. Farmers checked their crops. It was a normal day on the small human colony at the edge of known space. Admiral Yuna stood on her balcony in the capital city of New Seoul. She held a cup of tea and watched the sunrise. Her daughter Somi was still sleeping inside. The girl was only 8 years old. She had school in 1 hour. Yuna had retired from the military 5 years ago. She chose this quiet planet because she wanted peace. She wanted to watch her daughter grow up far from war and politics. Haven 7 was perfect. It had green fields, clean rivers, and simple people who wanted simple lives. 400,000 humans lived on Haven 7. They were farmers, teachers, doctors, and workers. They had no army. They had no warships. They only had a small police force and a few old transport ships. The colony was peaceful because it had nothing anyone would want. That is what Yuna believed. She was wrong. In the darkness of space, 300 Valkyrie warships moved toward Haven 7. The Valkyrie were tall creatures with gray skin and 4 arms. They had ruled their part of the galaxy for 10,000 years. They believed they were the greatest species in the universe. They looked at other races like insects. The Valkyrie had found something on Haven 7, deep under the ground. There was a rare mineral called Helix 9. This mineral could power their ships for 1,000 years. The humans did not know about it. They had not dug deep enough. Commander Vorak stood on the bridge of his flagship. He looked at the small blue and green planet on his screen. He felt nothing. To him, the humans were just animals. They were in the way. "Sir," said one of his officers, "should we ask them to leave? We could give them time to evacuate." Vorak laughed. It was a cold sound. "Why would we waste time? They are nothing. Begin the bombardment." At exactly 7:43 in the morning, the first plasma bombs fell on Haven-7. Yuna dropped her teacup when she heard the explosion. The ground shook. She ran inside and grabbed Somi from her bed. The little girl was confused and scared. "Mama, what is happening?" Somi asked. "We need to go," Yuna said. Her military training took over. She carried her daughter and ran toward the emergency shelter. Outside, the world was ending. Valkyrie ships filled the sky like a swarm of dark birds. Plasma fire rained down on everything. Buildings exploded. Streets melted. People screamed and ran, but there was nowhere to go. Yuna saw her neighbors die. She saw the school explode. She saw the hospital burn. Her heart broke with every step, but she kept running. She had to save her daughter. The emergency shelter was 2 kilometers away. Yuna ran faster than she had ever run in her life. She could feel the heat from the explosions on her back. She could hear the screams all around her. But she did not stop. They were almost there. The shelter door was open. People were rushing inside. Yuna could see safety just 100 meters away. Then the world turned white. A plasma bomb hit the ground right next to them. The blast threw Yuna through the air. She hit a wall and fell to the ground. Her ears were ringing. She could not see clearly. Everything was blurry and hot. "Somi!" She screamed. "Somi!" She crawled on the burning ground. Her hands were bleeding. Her uniform was on fire. But she did not care. She had to find her daughter, Dot. She found Somi lying in the street. The little girl was not moving. Her pink dress was covered in ash. Her small hand was still reaching toward her mother. Yuna held her daughter's body and screamed. It was a sound that came from the deepest part of her soul. It was the sound of a mother losing everything. The bombardment continued for 12 hours. When it stopped, Haven 7 was dead. The green fields were black. The rivers were dry. The cities were dust. 400,000 humans were gone. Men, women, children, old people, babies. All gone. Commander Vorak looked at the destruction with satisfaction. "Send the mining teams," he said. "Tell the Emperor that Haven 7 is now Valkyrie territory." His officers celebrated. They had taken a planet without losing a single ship. The humans had not even fought back. It was too easy. "Sir," said one officer, "should we report this to the Galactic Council?" "Why?" Vorak said. "The humans are weak. They will cry and complain, but they will do nothing. They always do nothing." He was wrong. On the destroyed surface of Haven 7, Admiral Yuna was somehow still alive. She had crawled into a broken building. Her body was burned and broken. She had lost her left arm, but she was alive. She still held Sami's small hand in her remaining hand. She would not let go. For 3 days, she lay there among the dead. She did not eat. She did not sleep. She just held her daughter and remembered. On the 4th day, a human rescue ship found her. The pilot was a young man named Doan. He had tears in his eyes when he saw the destruction. "Admiral Yuna," he said softly, "we need to get you to a hospital." Yuna looked at him with empty eyes. Then she looked at her daughter one last time. She kissed Sami's forehead and finally let go Dot as the rescue ship flew away from the dead planet. Yuna spoke for the first time in 3 days. "Take me to Earth," she said. Her voice was cold and hard like steel. "I need to speak with the Council." "The Council is sending condolences," Dohan said. "They are very sorry for what happened." Yuna turned to look at him. Her eyes had changed. They were not sad anymore. They were burning with something darker, something dangerous. "I do not want condolences," she said. "I want ships. I want soldiers. I want every weapon humanity has." She paused and looked back at the shrinking image of Haven 7. The Valkyrie made a mistake today. They thought we were weak. They thought we would do nothing. She touched the window with her remaining hand. "They killed my daughter. They killed 400,000 of our people. They will learn that humans are not insects. They will learn that we do not forgive. We do not forget." Her hand closed into a fist. "And we always finish what others start." The rescue ship jumped into hyperspace, carrying the last survivor of Haven 7 toward Earth. And on that ship, in the heart of a broken mother, a fire had started. It was a fire that would burn across the galaxy. The Valkyrie did not know it yet, but they had just started a war they could not win. Humanity was coming, and humanity was angry. Vice Admiral Hana stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Iron Will. Around her, 40,000 warships moved through the darkness of space. This was the vanguard, the tip of the spear. And she was leading it. Behind her vanguard, spread across 10 light years, came the rest of the fleet. 260,000 more ships. They moved in perfect formation, silent, dark, deadly. "Admiral," said her communications officer, a young man named Junho, "the Valkyrie border station is trying to contact us. They are asking for identification." "Ignore them," Hana said. "They are demanding we stop and explain our presence." "Still ignore them." The border station was a small outpost with only 5 ships. It existed to watch for smugglers and pirates. It was not built to stop an invasion. The 5 Valkyrie ships floated in space, confused and scared, as 40,000 human warships passed them like a river around a rock. "They are threatening to fire," Junho said. Hana did not even look up. "Let them." The Valkyrie station fired its weapons. Tiny lasers hit the shields of human ships and did nothing. It was like throwing pebbles in a mountain. "Should we return fire?" asked her weapons officer. "No," Hana said. "They are not worth the ammunition. Keep moving." The human fleet passed the border station without slowing down. The Valkyrie commander watched in horror as ship after ship after ship flew past his station. He counted until he lost count. Then he sent an emergency message to the Valkyrie High Command. "The humans are coming," he said. His voice was shaking. Not a few ships. Not 100 ships, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more. They are heading straight for our core systems. On Valkyrie Prime, Commander Vorak received the message. He laughed. "Let them come," he said. "We destroyed their colony with 300 ships. They think they can fight us? They are insects." But Emperor Zeth was not so confident. He had lived for 400 years. He had seen many wars. Something about this felt different. "How many ships do they have?" he asked. "Reports say between 200,000 and 300,000, his advisor said. The Emperor was quiet for a long time. "That is impossible," Vorak said. "The humans do not have that many ships. This must be a trick. Electronic ghosts, false signals." "Our scouts confirm the numbers," the advisor said. "They are real ships. Real weapons. Real soldiers." Emperor Zeth walked to his window and looked out at his beautiful capital city. Tall towers reached toward the sky. Flying vehicles moved between buildings. 20 billion Valkyrie lived on this planet. It was the heart of their empire. "Prepare our defenses," he said. "Call back all fleet groups. Every ship we have." "But Emperor," Vorak protested, "we should attack them now. Hit them while they are spread out." "No," the Emperor said. "We wait. We let them come to us. We have the advantage here. They are far from home. We are at home." It was a logical decision. It was the right military decision. But it was also the wrong decision. Because humans were not fighting a normal war. 3 weeks into Valkyrie space, the human fleet had not fired a single shot. They did not attack stations. They did not bomb planets. They just moved. Silent and unstoppable dot on the iron will, Hana received new orders from Admiral Yuna. "Continue the silent march," the message said. "Do not engage unless engaged. Let them see us coming. Let them feel the fear." Hana understood. This was psychological warfare. The Valkyrie had killed 400,000 humans without warning. Now humans would give them plenty of warning. They would give them time to watch death coming. Time to be afraid. Time to regret. News of the human fleet spread across the Valkyrie Empire like wildfire. People panicked. They tried to flee to distant colonies. They begged their government to make peace. They prayed to their gods, but the fleet kept coming. On a small Valkyrie colony world called Neth, a farmer named Torval watched the news with his family. The screens showed images of the human fleet, thousands of ships blocking out the stars. It looked like a wall of death moving through space. "Father," his son asked, "will they come here?" Torval did not know what to say. He had never thought about humans before. They were just another weak species on the edge of the galaxy. Now, they were coming with more ships than he had ever imagined. "I do not know," he said honestly. On the flagship Dawn of Fury, Admiral Yuna reviewed the intelligence reports. The Valkyrie were gathering their forces around their home world. Good. That is what she wanted. "They have 7,000 ships defending Valkyrie Prime," Fleet Commander Tejo reported. Another 3,000 spread across their nearby systems. Total defensive force of about 10,000. 10,000 against 300,000, Yuna said. "They are outnumbered 30 to 1. They must know they cannot win," Tejo said. "They do not think they will need to fight," Yuna said. "They think we will negotiate. They think we will accept an apology and some money and go home." She pulled up images of Haven 7, the dead planet, the burned cities, the mass graves. They are all. Vice Admiral Hana's vanguard reached the outer edge of the Valkyrie home system. She ordered her fleet to stop and wait. Behind her, more ships arrived every hour. The human fleet gathered like storm clouds before a hurricane. Hannah looked at the distant sun of Valkyrie Prime. Somewhere around that star was the planet that had ordered the destruction of Haven 7. Somewhere there was the Emperor who had approved the attack. Somewhere there was Commander Varrock who had pushed the button. Send no messages, she told her crew. Make no signals. Let them watch us gather. Let them count our ships. Let them understand what is coming. On Valkyrie Prime, the people looked up at the night sky. They could see the human fleet now. Tiny points of light that had not been there before. Every night, there were more lights. Every night, the lights were brighter. Children asked their parents what the lights were. Parents did not know what to say. Emperor Zeth called an emergency meeting of his council. We must negotiate, his peace advisor said. We must offer them everything they want. Money, planets, apologies, anything to make them go away. We cannot show weakness, Varrock argued. If we give in to the humans, every species in the galaxy will think they can threaten us. We must fight. Fight? The peace advisor shouted. They have 300,000 ships. We have 10,000. It would not be a fight. It would be a massacre. Then we die with honor, Varrock said. Emperor Zeth raised his hand for silence. Send a message to the human fleet, he said. Tell them we wish to negotiate. Tell them we regret what happened at Haven 7. Tell them we will pay any price for peace. The message was sent. It traveled across space to the human flagship. Admiral Yuna read it 3 times. They want to negotiate, Tejo said. This could end without more death. Yuna thought about Somi. She thought about holding her daughter's small body in the burning streets. She thought about the 400,000 graves on Haven 7. No, she said. No, they do not get to negotiate. They do not get to apologize. They burned our people alive. They laughed while children died. Now they will learn what that costs. She wrote a reply. 3 words. We are coming. On Valkyrie Prime, Emperor Zeth read the reply. His hands were shaking. For the first time in 10,000 years, a Valkyrie emperor felt fear. The lights in the sky grew brighter. The humans were coming, and there was nothing he could do to stop them. General Sung stood in the landing bay of the troop carrier Mountain of Justice. Around him, 10,000 soldiers prepared for war. They checked their weapons. They said prayers. They wrote final letters to their families. Sung walked among them. He was old. His hair was white. His body was tired, but his spirit burned with the fire of a young man. General, a young soldier called out. Her name was Minji. She was only 19 years old. Is it true what they did to Haven 7? They really killed everyone? Even the children? Sung stopped. He looked at the young soldier with kind but sad eyes. Yes, he said. They killed everyone. 400,000 people. They did not give them a chance to surrender. They did not give them a chance to run. They just burned them all. Why? Minji asked. Why would anyone do that? Because they thought we were weak, Sung said. Because they thought we were nothing. Because they looked at us and saw insects, not people. He put his hand on our shoulder. Today, we show them they were wrong. Today, we show them what humans can do when someone hurts our family. Because that is what we are. All of humanity is one family. And when someone hurts our family, we do not forget. We do not forgive. We make them pay. Minji nodded. Her fear was still there, but now it was mixed with something else. Anger, purpose, determination. I am ready, General, she said. I know you are, Sung said. I know you all are. Above the planet Valkyrie Prime, the human fleet took its final position. 300,000 warships formed a sphere around the planet. There was no escape. No way out. No hope. Admiral Yuna stood on the bridge of the Dawn of Fury. Vice Admiral Hannah stood beside her. Fleet Commander Tejo was at the tactical station. They looked down at the enemy planet. Their fleet is holding position near the planet, Tejo reported. 10,000 ships. They are formed up in a defensive formation. Any messages? Yuna asked. The Emperor is begging to negotiate. He's offering to surrender. He's offering territory, resources, anything we want. Yuna was quiet for a moment. 10,000 years of Valkyrie rule. 10,000 years of looking down on other species. 10,000 years of treating everyone else as inferior. It would end today. Open a channel to the Valkyrie Emperor, she said. The screen flickered. Emperor Zeth appeared. He looked different now. The proud ruler was gone. In his place was a frightened old creature who had finally understood that his empire was about to fall. Admiral Yuna, he said quickly. Please, let us talk. We can work out a solution? What happened at Haven 7 was a mistake. Commander Vorak acted without my full approval. I will give you Vorak. I will give you the officers who followed his orders. I will pay any amount you want. Just please, spare my people. Yuna looked at him. She felt nothing. No anger, no hatred. Just cold determination. You had 400,000 chances to negotiate, she said. You burned them all. Please, the Emperor begged. My people did not choose this. They are innocent. The children are innocent. Yes, Yuna said. They are. Just like the children of Haven 7 were innocent. Just like my daughter was innocent. She leaned forward. Where was your mercy when you burned our children? Where was your negotiation when you bombed our hospitals? Where was your humanity when you laughed at our dead? The Emperor had no answer. Today you learn what humans do when someone crosses us, Yuna said. Today you learn why every species in the galaxy will think twice before hurting humans again. Today, you learn that there are consequences. She cut the communication. All ships, she said. Begin the attack. 300,000 warships opened fire at the same time. The sky over Valkyrie Prime turned white with weapons fire. It was the largest attack in galactic history. It was beautiful and terrible at the same time. The Valkyrie fleet tried to fight back. Their ships were good. Their crews were trained. But they were outnumbered 30-1. It was not a battle. It was an execution. Commander Vorak was on his flagship when it was surrounded by human ships. He fired every weapon he had. He destroyed 2 human ships, 3, 4, but more kept coming. Always more. This is impossible, he shouted. How can they have so many ships? How can they fight like this? His ship was hit again and again. Fires broke out on every deck. His crew was dying around him. Finally, a message came through. It was Admiral Yuna. Commander Vorak, she said. I want you to know something before you die. My daughter's name was Somi. She was 8 years old. She liked to draw pictures of flowers. Her favorite color was pink. Vorak did not understand. Why are you telling me this? Because you never asked, Yuna said. You killed 400,000 people, and you never wondered who they were. You never cared about their names, their dreams, their families. To you, they were just insects. Her voice grew cold. Now you know one name. Somi. Remember it. It is the last thing you will ever hear. Vorak's ship exploded. The battle lasted 3 hours. When it ended, all 10,000 Valkyrie warships were destroyed. The human fleet had lost 800 ships. A small price for such a great victory. But the reckoning was not over. General soon led the ground forces down to the surface. They landed in the capital city. Valkyrie soldiers tried to stop them. They failed. Sung walked through the streets of the capital with his soldiers. The Valkyrie civilians ran from them. They hid in their homes. They cried and begged for mercy. "Do not harm the civilians," Sung ordered his troops. "We are not monsters. We are here for one purpose only." They marched toward the imperial palace. The palace guards fought bravely, but they were not enough. One by one, the defenses fell. Sung found Emperor Zeth hiding in his throne room. The old ruler was alone. His guards were dead. His army was destroyed. His empire was finished. "Please," Zeth said, "have mercy." Sung looked at him for a long moment. "I thought about this day for many weeks," Sung said. "I thought about what I would do when I stood in front of you. Part of me wanted to kill you with my own hands. Part of me wanted to make you suffer like our people suffered." He stepped closer. "But that would make me like you. And I'm not like you. I do not kill helpless people. I do not murder civilians. I do not burn children." Zeth felt hope. "Then you will let me live?" "I will let you live," Sung said, "but not as an emperor. You will spend the rest of your life as a prisoner. You will watch your empire fall. You will watch your people rebuild under human supervision. And every day, you will remember what your arrogance cost you." He turned to his soldiers. "Take him away." As Zeth was dragged from his throne, Sung looked around the empty throne room. 10,000 years of Valkyrie rule had ended. Not with a negotiation. Not with a treaty. But with fire and blood and 300,000 warships. He pulled out a small picture. It was the photo of Haven 7, the green fields, the happy people. "All gone now. This was for you," he said quietly. "All of this was for you." Outside, the human flag rose over the capital city. The reckoning was complete, but the story was not over yet. Fleet Commander Teo was eating dinner with his family when his communicator beeped. It was a red alert, the highest level. He had not seen a red alert in 15 years. He looked at his wife, Myra, and his 2 sons. They understood immediately. Myra nodded and took the boys to their room. Teho answered the call. The face of Admiral Yuna appeared on the screen. Teho almost did not recognize her. Her face was burned. Her left arm was gone. But her eyes were what scared him most. They were the eyes of someone who had lost everything and now wanted the universe to pay. "Yuna," he said softly, "I heard about Haven 7. I am so sorry about Somi." "I do not want sorry," Yuna said. "I want war." Teho was quiet for a moment. He had known Yuna for 30 years. They had served together in the border wars. He knew she was not a person who spoke without thinking. "The Council will never approve," he said. "The Valkyrie are too powerful. They have thousands of ships. They control half the galaxy. The Council already approved." Yuna said. Te-Ho could not believe it. "How?" "I showed them the recordings from Haven 7. I showed them the children burning. I showed them the hospitals exploding. I showed them 400,000 people dying in 12 hours. Yuna paused. "And then I asked them one question. If we do nothing today, who will be next? Earth? Mars? Their families?" The Council had voted unanimously. For the first time in human history, every nation, every colony, every ship was called to war. Not defense, not protection. War. "What do you need from me?" Teho asked. "Everything," Yuna said. "Mobilize everything." The next morning, Teho stood in the command center of humanity's largest military base on Mars. Around him, hundreds of officers worked at their stations. Screens showed maps of human space. 47 systems. Thousands of planets and stations. Billions of people. "Send the order," Teho said. Thought the message went out to every corner of human civilization. It was simple. 5 words. But those 5 words would change the galaxy forever. All ships, all hands, Now, on Earth, old warships that had been sitting in museums came back to life. Engineers worked day and night to make them ready for war. Young people lined up at recruitment centers. The lines went around the block, around the city, around the world. On Mars, the great shipyards that had been quiet for decades started working again. Sparks flew. Metal screamed. Ships began to take shape faster than anyone thought possible. Workers did not sleep. They did not complain. They just worked. On the colony world of New Bizon, retired General Soong received his orders. He was 72 years old. He had fought in 3 wars. He thought his fighting days were over. He was wrong. They want me to lead the ground forces. He told his grandson Jinu, if we need to land troops. Will you go, grandfather? Jinu asked. Soong looked at the picture on his wall. It was a photo of Haven 7. He had visited there once. He remembered the green fields and the happy people. Yes, he said. I will go. In the asteroid belt, Captain Hana commanded a patrol ship with a crew of 50. She was young, only 30 years old. But she was the best pilot in the fleet. Everyone knew it. Her communicator buzzed. New orders. She read them 3 times to make sure she understood. You are promoted to Vice Admiral, the message said. You will lead the Vanguard fleet. Report to Mars immediately. Hannah looked at her crew. They were scared. They were excited. They were ready. Set course for Mars, she said. Maximum speed. Across human space, the same scene repeated. Ships came out of retirement. Soldiers came out of retirement. Factories that made cars started making weapons. Factories that made toys started making bullets. Universities closed so students could join the fight. Offices closed. Stores closed. Everything closed. Humanity was going to war. The Galactic Council watched with disbelief. Other species had expected humans to send angry messages. They expected speeches and complaints. They expected maybe a few ships as a symbolic protest. They did not expect this. Ambassador Rayo of the Tellan species requested an emergency meeting with the human representative. This is madness, Rayo said. His blue skin was pale with worry. You cannot fight the Valkyrie. They have ruled for 10,000 years. They have more ships than anyone. The human ambassador was a woman named Yuri. She was calm. Too calm. We know, Yuri said. Then why? Rayo asked. Why throw your lives away? You should negotiate. Make peace. Accept what happened and move on. Yuri leaned forward. Her eyes were hard. Let me tell you something about humans, she said. We are not the strongest species in the galaxy. We are not the smartest. We are not the oldest. But there is one thing we are that no other species understands. What is that? Rayo asked. We are stubborn, Yuri said. When someone hurts us, we do not forget. We do not move on. We hit back. It does not matter if they are bigger. It does not matter if they are stronger. It does not matter if we die. We hit back. She stood up. The Valkyrie killed 400,000 of our people. Children, babies, old people. They burned them alive and laughed. Now they will learn what that means. But you will lose, Rayo said. Yuri smiled. It was not a happy smile. Maybe, she said. But we will make them bleed first. We will make them bleed so much that no one will ever think about attacking humans again. She walked toward the door, then stopped. You should warn your people to stay out of our way. This is between us and the Valkyrie. Anyone who helps them will be treated as an enemy. Rayo sat alone in the empty room for a long time. He had lived for 300 years. He had seen many species rise and fall, but he had never seen anything like this. Humans were not acting like a species going to war. They were acting like a species going to revenge. And that was much more dangerous. 3 weeks after Haven 7, the human fleet began to gather at the edge of their space. Ships arrived every hour. Every day, the fleet grew larger. Admiral Yuna stood on the observation deck of the flagship, Dawn of Fury. She watched the ships arrive. Battleships, carriers, destroyers, frigates, support ships, medical ships. Ships of every size and type. Fleet Commander Taeho stood beside her. How many now? She asked. Taeho checked his datapad. 270,000 warships. More are coming every day. We should have 300,000 by next week. 300,000 warships. It was more ships than humanity had ever gathered. More ships than any species had ever gathered for a single battle. Is it enough? Taeho asked. Yuna thought about her daughter. She thought about her small hand reaching out. She thought about the pink dress covered in ash. It is enough to send the message, she said. The Volcari think we are weak. They think we are soft. They think we will cry and do nothing. She turned to face Taeho. They are about to learn the truth about humans. We are not weak. We are just patient. We wait until the time is right. And then we strike with everything we have. Taeho nodded. He had known Yuna for 30 years. He had never seen her like this. The kind woman who had retired to raise her daughter was gone. In her place was something harder. Something colder. Something that would not stop until the Volcari burned. Give the order, Yuna said. Tell the fleet to prepare for departure. We leave at sunrise. Taeho sent the order. Across the fleet, 300,000 ships came to life. Engines powered up. Weapons systems activated. Crews took their positions. The greatest fleet in human history was ready, and it was hungry for revenge. The bombardment of Volcari military installations lasted 3 days. Human ships systematically destroyed every weapons factory, every military base, every shipyard on the planet. They did not touch civilian areas. They did not harm non-military targets. But everything that could be used for war was reduced to ash. On the third day, Vice Admiral Hana landed her shuttle on the steps of the Imperial Palace. The building was damaged but still standing. Scorch marks covered its walls. Broken glass covered the ground. But it was still the symbol of Volcari power. Or what used to be power. Hana walked up the steps slowly. Behind her, a small group of soldiers followed. In her hand, she carried a folded human flag. At the top of the steps, she stopped and looked out over the city. Smoke rose from the destroyed military districts. The sky was gray with dust. In the distance, human ships moved across the sky like silent guardians. Is this where we plant it? Asked Lieutenant J, one of her soldiers. Hana looked at the broken flagpole that had once held the Volcari banner. The banner was gone now, torn down and burned by human soldiers on the first day. Yes, she said. This is the place. She climbed the flagpole herself. She did not ask anyone else to do it. This moment was personal. This moment was for Haven 7, for the 400,000 dead, for all the names that the Volcari never bothered to learn. As she reached the top, she attached the human flag. The wind caught it and spread it wide. Blue and green and white. The colors of Earth, the colors of humanity. Below, the soldiers cheered. On the ships above, crews watched on their screens and cried. Across human space, billions of people saw the flag and felt something they had not felt in a long time. Pride, unity, strength. Hana climbed down and stood at attention. She saluted the flag. This is for you, Haven 7, she said quietly. We did not forget. We will never forget. On the Dawn of Fury, Admiral Yuna watched the ceremony through the ship's cameras. Tears ran down her face. Not tears of joy. Not tears of victory. Just tears. Fleet Commander Tejo stood beside her. "It is done," he said. "The Valkyrie Empire is finished. Their military is destroyed. Their government has fallen. They will never threaten anyone again." Yuna nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. "It is done." But she did not feel victory. She did not feel satisfaction. She felt empty. The anger that had driven her across the galaxy was gone. In its place was just a hollow feeling in her chest. "What happens now?" Tejo asked. "Now we rebuild," Yuna said. "We set up a transitional government. We make sure the Valkyrie can never do this again. And then we go home. And you? What will you do?" Yuna looked at the planet below. 20 billion Valkyrie lived there. Most of them had never wanted war. Most of them were just ordinary people trying to live their lives. They had not chosen to attack Haven 7. They had not chosen to kill 400,000 humans. But they had to live with the consequences of what their leaders did, just like she had to live with the consequences of what happened to Somi. "I do not know," she said honestly. "I thought destroying the Valkyrie would make me feel better. I thought revenge would fill the empty space in my heart. But it has not. Somi is still gone. Nothing will bring her back." Tejo put his hand on her shoulder. "You did the right thing," he said. "Not just for Somi, for all of humanity. Because of what we did here today, no species will ever think about attacking a human colony again. They will remember the 300,000 ships. They will remember the fall of the Valkyrie. They will remember that humans do not forgive and do not forget." Yuna wiped her tears. "I hope so," she said. "I hope Sami's death meant something. I hope all those deaths meant something." On the surface, General Soom met with representatives from across the galaxy. Ambassador Rayo of the Talon species was there. So were diplomats from a dozen other races. They had come to witness the fall of an empire. They had come to see what humans were capable of. "You have shocked the entire galaxy," Rayo said. "No one expected this. No one thought you could do this." Soom nodded. "We did not do this because we wanted power," he said. "We did not do this because we wanted territory. We did this because the Valkyrie crossed a line that should never be crossed. They attacked civilians. They killed children. They showed no mercy." He looked at the assembled diplomats. "Let this be a lesson to everyone. Humans are peaceful. We want to trade. We want to cooperate. We want to be friends with every species in the galaxy. But if anyone attacks our people, if anyone kills our civilians, if anyone burns our children, then we will come. We will come with everything we have. And we will not stop until justice is done." The diplomats nodded. They understood. The message was clear. 1 year later, the human fleet went home. They left behind a small peacekeeping force to maintain order. They left behind advisors to help the Valkyrie build a new government. They left behind teachers to help the Valkyrie learn about human culture and values. But most importantly, they left behind a memorial. On the site of the old Imperial Palace, a new structure rose. It was a simple building. White stone. Tall windows. A garden in the center with 400,000 flowers. One flower for each person who died on Haven-7. In the center of the garden stood a statue. It was a statue of a little girl in a pink dress, reaching up toward the sky. At her feet, a plaque read, "In memory of the 400,000 humans who died on Haven-7. We did not forget. We will never forget. May there never be another Haven-7." Admiral Yuna visited the memorial before she left. She stood in front of the statue and looked at the little girl. It was not meant to be Somi. It was meant to represent all the children who died. But in her heart, Yuna saw her daughter. "I did what I promised," she said softly. "I made them pay. I made sure the galaxy knows not to hurt our people. She placed a single flower at the base of the statue. A pink flower, Sami's favorite color. But I wish I could have saved you instead. I wish I could have traded everything for just one more day with you. One more hug. One more smile. One more chance to tell you how much I loved you. Tears fell on the stone. Rest now, my baby. Mama did her job. The people who hurt you are gone. You are safe now. You are all safe now. She touched the statue one last time. Then she turned and walked away. The ship that carried her home was called the Dawn of Fury. But as it left Valkyrie space, someone had painted a new name on its side. A smaller name. A gentler name. Sami's Hope. Because that is what the war had been about. Not revenge. Not anger. Not destruction. It had been about hope. Hope that one day humans could live in peace. Hope that no more children would have to die. Hope that the galaxy would learn from this terrible war. As the human fleet disappeared into hyperspace, the Valkyrie looked up at the empty sky. They had lost their empire. They had lost their pride. They had lost 10,000 years of power. But they had learned something important. They had learned what happens when you hurt humanity, and they would never forget. None of them would ever forget. In the centuries that followed, the story of Haven 7 became legend. Parents told their children about the peaceful colony that was destroyed by arrogance, about the mother who lost her daughter, about the 300,000 ships that crossed the galaxy to deliver justice. And every species in every corner of the galaxy remembered one simple truth. Humans are kind. Humans are peaceful. Humans want to be friends, but hurt them, and they will burn your world to the ground. That is the human way. And that is why, even now, no one dares to cross them. The end.